Upon first glance, I'd imagine that a lot of people would say this game was a clone or copy of Doom 2016. I suppose that would be an easy assumption or comparison to make, but when you look a little bit closer and actually play Metal Hellsinger, you'll realise that it's got a pretty significant twist. This is only the demo of course, but I've played it through multiple times and I've genuinely had a good time with it. I found it surprisingly fun to play and I just wanted to put my opinion out there in the hopes that someone else might enjoy this demo as much as I did. So then, what is Metal Hellsinger all about? Well, it's a Doom-style first-person shooter with the added twist of playing the game to the beat of a hard-hitting metal soundtrack. As I said, this is only the demo, but it does give you a good chunk of gameplay to get to grips with. Also, just so you know, the full game is due out in September 2022, but as of right now, it looks like it's going to be a digital-only game, which, if true, is a real shame. Looking at the digital pre-order price on PSN, it seems to be around £33 or about $40, and for me, that's a little bit too pricey for a download. Hopefully, we'll get a physical version, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. They haven't really said too much about the story of the game, but from what I understand, it's narrated by Troy Baker, who is no doubt a great voice actor, but I have definitely lost a lot of respect for him lately, what with the whole, NFT thing, but, whatever, that doesn't really affect his vocal performance, so it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, Troy narrates the story as you fight your way through various hellscapes seeking vengeance, and that's about all we know at this point. To be fair, it does have a very arcadey and replayable feel to it, so I don't think the story's going to factor into my enjoyment of it very much at all. The gameplay itself does feel a lot like 2016's Doom Reboot or perhaps Doom Eternal. It's definitely in that boomer shooter genre, which refers to games that feel like those classic fast-paced shooters from the 90s. The difference here though is that you've got this sort of timeline thing in the middle of the screen, which in a way is a little bit like the track you'd see in a Guitar Hero game, but obviously simplified quite a lot. So basically what you're trying to achieve as the player is to do everything in the game on that rhythm that you see in the center. That means shooting, dashing, reloading, etc, etc. You can actually perform all of these actions outside of the beat or rhythm, but doing so will make things a lot more difficult for you. As an example, the damage you deal is significantly increased when firing on the beat, and reloading on the beat is much quicker, plus it adds a burst of speed to your movement for a short time. You're also able to rack up score bonuses which multiply the points you receive from killing enemies by up to 16 times. And let me tell you, from my experience, hitting those shots on the beat is very satisfying, especially because the music becomes more and more awesome the higher your score multiplier is. Sounds like a weird thing to say, but essentially the sound engineers have taken certain parts of the songs and isolated them. This means that they can turn specific parts of the track on and off depending on how well you're doing. When I was playing decently well, I got most of the song playing and that was cool, but when I hit the 16 times multiplier, the lyrics and vocals come in and you get the chorus of the song. This is a very nice feature in my opinion, and the thing is, I love metal music. I'm 34 now and I've been into metal music since, probably the mid-90s. I got into it when all the nu metal became a thing, but in general I liked a lot of different stuff, from Linkin Park to Korn to Slipknot to Stained to Papa Roach to Disturbed to Coheed and Cambria and many, many more. Nowadays, I'm generally quite limited in my metal tastes as I only really listen to metalcore, and I do love all the older stuff of course, but in my day-to-day life it's just metalcore these days. Bands like Killswitch Engage, Trivium, Wage War, As I Lay Dying, Cold Rain, Bless the Fall, the list goes on. I'm not really into the stuff where the entire song is growls and screams though. I pretty much always enjoy the songs that mix both growls and clean vocals, but that's just me. Either way, the soundtrack on this game is sounding very, very good so far, and if you're into metal like me, it's just a big bonus. In terms of graphics and visual presentation, I think the game looks rather good actually. It feels like it runs at a consistent 60 FPS, which is great, and I think the environments and the 3D models look really nice as well. I messed with a few of the settings and increased the field of view, but it kind of gives you this weird fisheye lens effect that you can see here. I don't remember ever seeing this happen in games before. It does seem a bit weird, but I did get used to it after a while. In my opinion, Metal Hellsinger is shaping up to be an awesome boomer shooter with a fun twist on the standard gameplay, and not to mention a brilliant soundtrack. As far as the demo goes, I think it looks pretty good, plays exceptionally well most of the time, and sounds incredible virtually all of the time. Ultimately, if you like first-person shooters, it's gotta be worth giving this demo a try. You are required to utilize the rhythm system, which admittedly does take some getting used to. But if you're really not feeling it after playing the demo for a little while, stick with it a little while longer, because once it clicks, you won't want to put it down. If you enjoy the video, I really hope you'll consider subscribing, and if you like what I do and want to help support the channel, please check out the first link in the video description down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.